special, see what's going on, see if anybody's on. If anybody comes on, I'll stay on for about basically I'll be on for about probably an hour if someone's on. If not, I'll just make it a half hour. But I thought I'd come on tonight, see if anybody wants to talk. Just a late night situation. But I thought I would go ahead and do this thing. We're gonna do this thing. We're gonna do this thing. We're gonna do this thing tonight. See if we got anything going on. Anybody coming around. Giving you one good hour tonight. You know, see what we're working with. See somebody that's coming through. See somebody coming through, coming through. Let's see. So I'm on here now. So let's just see if anybody come through. Start this poll up. We'll be here for a minute. Thought I'd do like a what I call a impromptu, just to see if anybody's on. It's kind of later than I usually do, but I might do these. I definitely will be on another night this week. I'll be doing 3 lives this week. So I did one last night. So we're just gonna see if anybody comes on. It's gonna be like a mini run. It's gonna call like a hit and run situation, but just to see if anybody's on, see what anybody's wants to talk, chop it up, see what's up, cover these events. Um, by now, that whole Vince McMahon thing is like getting a little attention, but it ain't the same as Puffy. But we're gonna see though, just to see if anybody wants to talk tonight. If this thing goes Reynolds rap, then I'll just, have to come back tomorrow. But if I get anybody come on tonight, let's see what we got. So I'm gonna be here for about at least a half hour. Play it by the cadence of the rhythm. So just see what we're working with. See if anybody wanna chop it up, see what's going on. Sometimes when you go live, you get action, sometimes you don't. It's all about the draw. And sometimes these are the best nights because when it's low key, no one expects something, that's when you get something. So we're gonna see what we're working with. Um, somebody came through, but I can't tell. So we got something through, but I don't know though. I don't know. All depends on the day, depends on what things are being said, which way they go. It's a lot of stuff going on though. We're gonna tap into it. We'll see what we got. So some people are gonna talk about different things, you know. I did um Kamala. It's real interesting. The whole thing, that's real interesting. That might be for another section, probably the next time I come on. Will there be some backlash? That's interesting. Real interesting what's going on with that. Her and Janet Jackson. So it's gonna be real, real intriguing how this comes about though. So just kind of stay tuned and putting things into context. Keep seeing somebody kind of like leaning on, but can't quite get no one to quite come on. But we're gonna see what we're working with. It's a nice mellow night. I hope everybody's having a good time, good evening. You can definitely tell the season has changed. The leaves are real crunchy, but it still be feeling pretty good though. It's a lot going on in the world. So looking forward to hearing what people got to say, how their day's going, how your night's going, back to school, back to work, or just in between places and things. He's in lockup. That's where he's at. Interesting choice of words there. That's where he's at right now. I do believe he got to reel him a big fish to get off the hook. I really believe that. Okay, are you a Diddy fan? I haven't had anyone come through that has showed him any real support. So this is a news flash. And though I know he's got supporters, because I just don't. I think that they're. Well, I think it's because some folks are just concerned about what will be said and who might be implicated. But interesting, very interesting. So if you're a Diddy fan, what's up, man? How you doing? I just decided to come on. I will be on tomorrow for sure. But I decided to do what I call a little hit and run tonight. I wanted to get touch on some things, and I did do my videos about the football games last night. Okay, well, I'm glad you're here. Now, the only thing I will say about him, if he brings in a big fish, he could flip. Things could flip, but he can't just be giving them little tidbits. He's got to put somebody out there that they really want. That's how I think it'll have to go down. So we'll see. We'll see. So anyway, Ted, what's up? So, oh wow, Buffalo spanked Jacksonville, and I talked about that. But that Washington Cincinnati game, I did not see that turning out like that. Jaden Daniels looked great last night. Very impressed. Okay, that's interesting news flash. That's a video worthy too. I figured he would have something because of all the shots he took. Well, they always look. I'm going to say this is the one time I hate to agree with Nick Wright. They always look good in September. I want to see what they look like. Just like the Yankees. I want to see what it look like in January. I'm tired of September. Could be. Could be. I don't wish no bad on nobody. So I mean, it could be. Could be. Something's up. But yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you, Ted. Jacksonville doesn't count. I mean, Trevor Lawrence, he didn't step the frog. He's back to a frog. They was calling him a prince. He's a frog. And Doug Peterson's run as coach, he always does the same thing. Runs low. So, but the Washington Cincinnati game. Now the truth is that if you remember his last year in college, he got kind of rattled that last year, and he came out okay. But boy, if you're Jacksonville and you got to wake up to him and Mac and Cheese Jones as your quarterback, good luck with that. Good luck with that. That's a long season. That's a long, painful season. So, but anyway, I don't have anything good to say about that. So, anyway, that's that. But that Washington Cincinnati game, that's got Jaden Daniels. I was impressed. He looked very poised. Their offense looked good. I was impressed. And they should have beat the Giants last week too. But anyway, they look good. Gonna be interesting. Definitely gonna be interesting. Well, they ain't now listen now. The GM wasn't lying, but they still got a lot of issues. And to do good things, you gotta be a contender for a playoff team. Let's not get carried away. We'll see. I liked what he looked last night, but let's not. Their defense leaves a lot to be desired. They leave a lot to be desired. I'm still gonna say if Joe Burrows had the right coach, things could be different. Yeah, they're in trouble, and I think it's the coach. I think the Eagles. I think this team has kind of. I use golf analogies. So Patrick Mahomes is Tiger Woods. Josh Allen is Phil Nicholson. Lamar Jackson is VJ Singh, and Joe Burrows is Sergio Garcia. Because you remember Sergio had that peak, and then he went 20 years later before he won. Think about it. He's the guy who hit the peak. And Sergio was actually a threat to Tiger, so they made up a creation. The reason why I have to use that analogy is because I remember who was at the NFL who said that crap that Patrick Mahomes is the best player, but Joe Burrow is the best quarterback. Who said that crackhead thing? Anyway, that's how it was with Tiger Woods and Sergio. So that's why I make the golf analogy. It's deja vu, just playing off in a different script. Same thing though. So anyway, that's how I look at it. They in trouble though. The only thing they got going for them is the fact that Baltimore ain't hit their stride and Cleveland sucks. And we don't know if Pittsburgh is for real. So that's what they got going for 'em. But if Baltimore gets going and Pittsburgh stays consistent, it's a long year for them. They in trouble. Long year. And Burrow, yeah, that's not a surprise. That's not a surprise. But they can't really talk because D-Jack got a lot of stuff that let's just say you know, they got him quiet. You already know why. Gerald McCoy kind of had a couple things, but that didn't really matter. But can anybody really say anything about Jameson? Because Jameson keeps a job. People can trip all they want. He keeps a job. Even though I know Bruce Arians had me laughing when he said 30 for 30, which is true. I had never seen that before. 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions. I had never seen nobody do what he did. I don't think he ever will, even the worst of the worst. Yeah. But I can't even, Jameson gets one. Oh yeah. D-Jack was a speed racer, yo. You know, he had wheels. Just he ran his mouth and he turned off the wrong folks. But to say he had wheels, he had wheels. I like D-Jack for playing. It's kind of like J.R. Smith. So if you know how J.R. Smith rolls, that's kind of how D-Jack rolls. Mhm. Mm, Joey Galloway too. But the thing about it is that Moss run upward though. Moss ran like he's running up a hill though, fast and go burn. D-Jack would just sprint. It was a different level to me. But he was on those fly patterns and those hitches. Moss, you just gonna hit deep and upward. And he's gonna let his do his ballet moves. That's what he did. Moss had the best feet of any receiver I've ever seen in my life. It was like a ballet dance. It's like he would hit that back line with it's amazing. I've never seen another receiver use their leg like that, especially the leap and catch. Incredible. Still to this day. I just don't, but again, that's one thing he had over Jerry Rice. That's all. Not much. Okay, okay. Yeah, because he could drag his feet really nice the way he came about it. He really did. It was incredible how he would, you throw up to his height and his feet were incredible. Yeah, for me. Jerry Rice was like beating you with racks and strides, and he was stronger for all that climb. AB hit you with the quickness. Some people feel that way. Devontae got a nice, what I say, over the shoulders. That's why I'm impressed. Well, so DeAndre Hopkins will probably be on the block too. I did that video today. If you watch my football week 3, so how it turned out in Tennessee. Oh, I'm sure they're gonna be some good people to pick up. I'm sure. I don't know. Well, from the Bills, I would look at it. I would look into it. They did a cookie cutter beat down of Jacksonville. Jacksonville sucks, okay? I did because he got there to Tennessee and whew, got the one of the worst quarterbacks. They don't they special teams suck. They just look bad. They look brutal. They look brutal. Like that could be a long year. You know when I say a long year might be 0 and 16 or 2 and 50. It's something real horrible. 2-15 and 1 or 2 some it's gonna be brutal. It's brutal. I bet Derrick Henry is thinking his lucky stars he ain't there. I don't think they'll get no first rounder for him. This ain't first of all, Ted, this ain't the NBA. This ain't Rudy Gobert, okay? You don't do that in the NFL. That's only NBA. It's not like that in football. And he's a receiver too. Come on, man. That might make the Bills make a move. Let's see. Who's up? Who's the big time Shaq hater? Who's the Shaq hater? There's always gonna be plays like that. What's happening, Fred? How you doing? From Ireland. How you living? Glad to have you tonight. There's always gonna be blindsided plays. He ain't gonna get no first money round pick though, Ted. He's 32. He's 22, of course. 32, no. Them tires been threaded. Um, they're gonna come to Caitlin the first year. That's common. That won't happen in year 3, 4, 5, but the first year, yes. Yeah, I have. I have. Because you gotta remember something. The WNBA is operating kind of like the NBA used to. I didn't seen it, but I'm gonna tell you something. I've seen plays where they go after your legs and takedowns. If you grew up on the NBA back in the day, you saw that. I just did a video. I'm gonna put it out. I don't know what he's worried about. Why would he be worried? Why would he be worried? He's almost 80 years old. Why is he worried? He got to live a full life. They 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 don't do him like they did Suge Knight, R. Kelly, and Puffy. It's a big difference. I'm just gonna let you fill in the blanks on that. No, I didn't. You know what? I know about blind plays in pro sports. Cats have done it all the time. It's because of who she is. But in baseball, when they throw the ball behind your head and pitching, uh, bounty hunters in football, it's all that. Well, he done a lot of dirt, but it's not gonna be bigger than Puffy. I know that there's some romanticism to try to act like they're coming after him, and they're not even coming after him. He old now, pushing 80. They sit there and let him do what he wanted to do. So, what am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to do with that? You want me to tell you what I really want to say with that? You got Dana White today. Are they coming after Dana White anytime soon? They had something for everybody to see a few years ago. Yeah. And that documentary won't come up for another 20 years. Watch. And you saw his hands and his wife in Mexico. Everybody saw that. What happened? Conor McGregor's antics was part of the situation. What's happened with that? So don't, just saying. And what's he gonna do in boxing? And well, they're making some money still. I think they canceled Vince because the money ain't there the same no more. That's why. Let's be realistic. Back in the day, there was more money. You had Hulk Hogan, you had Roddy Piper. You had that at that era. It's not the same. First of all, you got to have, and after The Rock blew up, think about it. But you've had John Cena, but you had The Rock. So whoever you had that's been the face of it, think about it. Okay. I'll look into see what Dana White's doing. I'm not gonna put a lot of stock in it though. Yeah, because that's the money. That's why. Why wouldn't they? And see, I'm gonna tell you something. Complexion for direction go real. You ain't never gonna speak out when the money good. They all made a household names because of him. Think about it. Think about it. All household names because of that man. Nobody gonna come out and badmouth him. Mm-mm. Should they? And see, I could talk about wrestling in a whole different light. It's no different than the music business or the acting business. It's all the same. It's just that it's just like politics. People ain't ready for that. Because The Rock got crossover love, which most black wrestlers never did. That's a fact. And The Rock plays that game. They own you. I mean, they create a TV character. Let's keep it 100. They create a character. You sell yourself on TV, and you become what they want. Then they compartmentalize you. Do I need to say anything else? It's all acting, script, character. You have to work on your physique. And if you happen to be one of those few that actually has a career, that actually goes somewhere with it, there you go. He's always been bullied. You remember what Warren Sapp said? They took his job. Not a surprise because the NFL is like a plantation, it's an auction block. Not a surprise at all. The only people that might be surprised are the ones who think that that's not a surprise. I did a video about it, Ted. I did a video. That burger patty. I did the video the other day. It's on my thing. That's what it was. Jamie Foxx was sitting next to him at a they were having a practice, and one of the players he went step by step. Got hit the way you got hit because you get ready to get off. Ain't your pops. But see you later, sucker. Hmm. And that ain't the first time he's probably said stuff like that. And see, the reason why and I did do a video about it. It's on my video. And what I said about Jerry Jones, I will say it again. Donald Sterling got ran out for being offensive, but they don't really touch NFL owners. Robert Kraft, Robert Ursay. Do I need to keep talking? It's worse than that, yo. It's worse than that. Way worse. Because at least in the episode, you were going to role play and going with your life. This thing is deeper than you think. It's not just it's not just that, because no one cares about white rich men and having control over black players. It's not a big deal. That's why it's not. And they didn't aired stuff out about Jerry Jones before because he had some freaky deaky things, and the Cowboys were known. The Cowboys in the '90s had the version called the White House, which was the equivalent to the Diddy House. But no, but it was only the players that got hit with. They're the only ones who got hit with it. He's never been held accountable for nothing. But you could say his karma with how they've been post Barry Switzer. You could say that there's something to that. No one is gonna make a deal about it though. Free agents already signed somewhere else. They had a chance to get Derrick Henry and they passed on him. They went and got Ezekiel Elliott back. Ezekiel Elliott is about as big as my pinky now. And he runs about his average. Well, why do you think it's weird behavior? Because when I say this, I'm gonna say it real. They own you. I think you're thinking of because of the machismo and the football player, and you don't think that someone with that kind of thing will go down. You'd be very surprised. You'd be very surprised. It's only shocking if you got some standards for the man. I have no standards for him. So I'm not shocked or surprised. I'm just only surprised that he opened his mouth and said something like that, but I'm not really surprised upon it coming out. Mm. Because I heard Colin Kaepernick say that the NFL was like a plantation, and I heard Dwayne Wade said about the NBA. And I know what they do with baseball. Daryl Green, man. Come on, man. I'm a big Daryl Green fan. I got to see him play. Nobody outran Daryl Green. I'd tell you right now, Daryl Green could still, if you can run down Tony Dorsett and Eric Dickerson in their prime, I'm sorry. That's no comparison. Now, Cromartie was a good cover man, but Daryl Green got him beat because he doesn't think like it's a problem. He feels like he's an owner. That's his property. And I'm gonna tell you another story too. Say said player got into a situation with a female employee or something like that, right? They dictate all that. Let me put this in perspective because I haven't done a video about it, but I might. Think about your Doka with the Celtics and messing with that woman that was with the Celtic. And then think about how he got ran out of Boston. Think about it. Who owns who? Think about Udoka with Boston, and then think about Jerry Jones. Do I need to say any more? I'm gonna do a video about Udoka. Think about it. Big Ben, Ted. Big Ben. Come on. Big Ben. He went to one more Super Bowl. He was a better quarterback. Eli was more impressive in the postseason. Big Ben got a better career. It's not even close. The two rings each, but they're not in the same neighborhood. Because if Eli played half, Eli's too inconsistent. Big Ben looked like an MVP candidate. Eli looked like a guy that got Popeye spinach and got hot at the right time. Um, because they don't have a leader. They don't have a leader. That's their problem. I watched them play in the body languages. They don't have anybody to rally them. There's no Michael Irvin. There's no Emmitt Smith. There's no Troy Aikman. There is no Deion Sanders. There's no Nate Newton. There is no Charles Haley. They don't have a leader. They play like an individualized team. All that hype from Michael Parsons, no. Depends on Well, that wouldn't be for another 10 years. It won't happen no time soon. He ain't got nothing on him right now. Well, they got him where they want him, even though he didn't want to say what they want. Oh, yeah, that's a no-brainer, Ted, because Jimmy Johnson could not have made it with what Tomlins had. That Rudolph cat, are you kidding me? Jimmy was about polish. That means ready to made to he did do it with Troy Aikman and Walsh. I'll give him that in Dallas. But how did it turn on Miami with Marino? And plus Tomlin, like he said, he gets he treats superstars differently. Give Mike Tomlin what Jimmy Johnson had. And he has two more rings too. So just saying. How he built that team in Dallas. They traded Herschel Walker. That's what made that team built. How he built it. And if you can build it once, why can't you build it again? The man he replaced on Miami built the team. Don Shula built the teams. Jimmy Johnson had the luxury, and he got a lot out of it, but he had Michael Irvin. He had the defense pieces. T.O., man, come on. Come on, man. T.O. Yeah, well, he got it. T.O. That's not even up to school. That's not real. But if AB had but you see, they got something in common. They both kind of went off the rails, and they both played for a few more teams. That's the only thing they got in common. It would be a good comparison, but AB is never going to be mentioned the same likes as T.O. No, he did a great job in college. I will give him that. He's a very strong motivational speaker. That's why he charges quite a bit to do speeches now. But building a team, he did to an extent. But remember something, he was in Dallas for what? 5 years. Got the two chips. We can't really say though. Well, that was Jerry Jones's picks. Jerry was calling the shots. Jimmy coached. Yeah, how did it turn on Miami though? Now, get it. Granted, Zach Thomas turned out good. Um, uh, uh, Taylor, who's Joy Taylor's brother, he turned out good, but he didn't do no more Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the running back. Oh yeah, I give you that. I'll give you that. His arrogance and his attitude. Some of it was inflicted. Some of there was some truth about how what he did. You know, but he did carry Donovan McNabb. I agree, but I don't know because Dion was a nudge breaker for 49ers. I don't know. The Dion move to Frisco was huge because that was the one person they needed. I don't know. T.O. and Jerry Rice ain't the same people though. T.O. did have a hand though in Ocho Cinco though. Him and Chad Johnson, he did because Chad mirrored a lot of his cadences. So I disagree. I don't know about in Frisco, but I could see that there was a Ocho. You could tell T.O. had a hand in his cadence. So far, you didn't know what? You didn't know what? Yeah, so far the NFL looks kind of lackluster in certain aspects. It looks sloppy. It looks more like a few quarterbacks and some running backs. That's the point. They was trying see, they contradicted themselves. They was up here trying to act like the running game sucked, and the running backs look good. Jonathan Taylor, uh, uh, Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley. They got some running backs, but the NFL up here trying to sell it like, oh, yeah, running backs you can get them. You got 2, 3. No, Madsen for 49. They got some running backs. They do. You didn't know what? You didn't know what? Tell me what you didn't know. Tell me what you didn't know. 16 votes. So 62% say no, it's not as big as Puffy. 38 say yes. Pretty good poll so far. That's a good poll, actually. Just doing Jim Vince McMahon. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. I don't think it's going to hit like that. What didn't you know? When did things just go cold? Well, they gotta work with what's there because the NFL has changed. I mean, I'm looking around. That's the reality. That's why they got those logos still in the end zone. They tell them y'all better shape up. That's what we gotta do. Well, his cadence, like Ocho's style, was very to. Oh yeah, if you watch his very to. CHG, you a funny dude, but you right. Well, they got out of New York. I don't know what it is. Yeah, I agree with you. Sam Darnold looks like he need to be drugged. Cause yeah, and Geno Smith, yeah, the Geno Smith thing still freaks me out. Cause I'm like, it took you. He had the Vinny Testaverde got better 20 years later thing. I'm like, how does that work? I am amazed. I am amazed. Cause these cats were bum one and bum two, lethal weapon with no weapon, and now these cats. And Minnesota is a legit team. Their defense is nice. And of course with the offense with Jefferson, who I mean, they're gonna be a handful. I think it's because of the parity. I think because if you play long enough and you learn something, you get with the script, you get in a situation where you actually can, because I've seen it before. Doug Flutie was in the NFL with Chicago and they were swatting his balls down. He was undersized. Went to the CFL, came back 10 years later, came to Buffalo, and he looked like a different man. Steve Young, some guys, it takes longer if they get the opportunity, if they get the chance. Everybody doesn't get second, third, fourth chance. Look, Baker Mayfield, even though I still think he a bum, but, you know, you let some guys stick around, eh, that's all. But the Geno thing did blow my head up. I was like, oh, Scooby Doo, like, huh? Geno? Because he was a punchline for a joke. And then here I am watching him, and then that Sam Darnold, you know. But then again, you look at Kirk Cousins. I mean, Kirk Cousins got a career now, and I didn't see this happening. So, okay, so let's get some questions. 38 says yes, 62% say no. Thank you, Wayne. Appreciate you coming through. Glad to have you come through. Do you have any questions tonight? And where you coming from? Welcome, welcome. Chris Carter. Because even though he was arrogant, pompous, and tired and a hack, he was a big time receiver. And think about it, he was playing alongside Randy Moss and he still made his presence felt. Andre Johnson was nice, he was bad, but Matt Schaub, his quarterback, was a joke, and Andre Johnson never got to the next heights. Chris Carter was a top tier receiver. It's a good question though. That's a good question though. Appreciate you coming through, Wayne. Though. Glad to have people coming through. I just was winging it tonight. Tomorrow I'll probably be on. I'll be on tomorrow, but tonight I'm just kind of winging it. I did like Andre Johnson too. I just think that he was one of those guys. It's kind of like what Devontae Adams is doing and DeAndre Hopkins is doing now. When you play in Saudi Arabia and you don't win or you don't get played on TV, we don't know you. Ricky gonna be one of those guys. They'll wait till he's like 73. NFL funny like that. Just saying. Borderline. If it's NBA, he get in. College and pro. They gonna make him they make him wait. If you got to ask, they making him wait. Um, I got to see how they look against ball. I got to see how they look when they lose a game. I was asked that today as a Bills fan, and to me, I will only know when they lose. See, because Josh regresses. They always start off good in September, And the only thing that I'm going to get high about is the fact that they're running better and their defense is lively. But I still think they gotta, oh yeah, they did. I remember it like you were real young when that thing when Mike Dicker had the fake dreads and all that mess. And he went to Northern here to deal with Master P. Then he got to Miami and he was running in the snow because we had to play against him, you know. But they tried to play him off like he nerdy. Can't say. They ain't played nobody. Beating Arizona, Miami, and uh, Jacksonville don't count. I can't answer that. Barely beat Arizona, got caught in the second half, was playing around. I always used to beat Miami, so those games, that's not surprising. Beating Jacksonville, that don't count. I'm a real fan. Now, if you ever watch this my channel, watch what I say, I'll tell you, they didn't look good against Detroit. They stunk the other day. Kyler Murray was very human against them. Yeah, they spanked the Rams and they look good against us. They ain't look too good against Detroit. They're gonna be a middle of the road, you know. Oh, I remember. He was the second coming of OJ. I mean not OJ of Earl Campbell in Texas. Played for Longhorns. The junior whopper Tyler Rowe. Well, I don't know. That's kind of I don't know how to answer that question because favorite college football running back seem to have bad pro careers. I mean, what you want me to say, Reggie Bush? I mean, I can't really answer that. That's kind of a hard question. You got to give me some examples and I can answer you because usually I want you to look good in the pros. I will tell you this: Reggie Bush was great in college, but he didn't really do much in the pros. I mean, he was different. I mean, Archie Griffin is probably the king of that. He won back-to-back Heisman's in his NFL career. I could make a case for O.J. Simpson. Oh, Ron Dane, that's a good one. That's a great one. Or Trent Richardson, big old back. Yeah, Alabama. So Alabama used to get those big old backs, and they come to the NFL and be cupcakes. Then anybody come out of Alabama used to stink, especially a quarterback, running back. It was just kind of like with Duke in the NBA. Still stuff I remember. Uh, no, I think there's about two or three teams in NFL. Marcus Dupree, if that's the one we're talking about, had the Jerry curl and died at the in my. I remember him, Marcus Dupree. If you're talking about in the '80s, yeah, yeah, he was a bust. Yeah, well, I seen a lot of them big old sardine can cats come out in the NFL and they just Twinkie fired up. Didn't make it in NFL. It's a different animal, and people understand. They actually put I Spies and they got packages. So cats things that they come to NFL, it's not the same. Yeah, it's a different era, different ball game, different ball game. 19 votes so far, so 63% say no, 37 say yes. Appreciate the ones that are giving to Vince McMahon. Thank you. See some views out here. Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. I just decided to do this poll a little bit different because I wasn't even going to talk about it. I got a video coming out about it. I just don't think it's going to hit like Puffy. I know it's not. Um, I'm gonna say this again. He's almost 80 years old. He is done. What's he gonna do? He's already done it up. Now, if you want to impress me, tell me Dana White. That would be impressive. Yeah, but I'm not impressed though. I'm kind of numb to it, if you must know, because they didn't go after him when it mattered. To me, it's kind of like, I don't know. Are the Bengals bums for good? I think it's the coach. I think there is a disconnect there. No one's talking about it. And because they've had slow starts in the past. They 0-3, they could be 3-0 better coached. Yeah, because Ted's right, because this the thing. You're not buying Pittsburgh as 3-0. Vince was into all kinds of sort of things, so but it's no different than the industry. It's no different than stuff alleged with Trump, alleged with Hugh Hefner, alleged, alleged. That's what I gotta say, alleged. You gotta do your research, but it's there, alleged. A lot of business with a lot of different situations. A lot of these folks is all connected. I'm gonna leave it at that. You do, Um, teams that should hit the panic button: Dallas, San Francisco, Cincinnati, Miami. Yeah, Harvey Weinstein's locked up right now. Well, Vince did, there's the same stuff, some of the stuff that look, Cleveland was done before the season started. Okay. How many people thought Deshaun Watson was gonna do something? Um, with Vince, it's the same as basically if you think of Epstein Island, and if you know about Jeffrey Epstein and all that, that's what they pushing down on Vince. All this stuff is the same. If you watching the Puffy situation, the Harvey Weinstein, Epstein, it's all connected. So it's just a matter of who you want to say, aha, aha, aha. That's the best way I can describe it. 20 votes in, 60% say no, 40 say yes. Ted said the Browns. How would I fix it? You would treat it like you treat alcohol or check people's ID. And first of all, you're putting too many of it. But you see, this is the problem. The NRA is like the mob. They got control over everything. They're never going to go away with that because they infiltrate everything. That's the problem. They're a silent voice. So I don't know if but it's stuff is alleged. He's got a lot of things that connect him to some real similar things that people are going through. Not necessarily him per se, but with some of the wrestlers and they have certain popularity, there's certain things that are that go down. Certain things go down. I didn't can't say him per se with it, but let's just say that when they bring in the popularity of the pinup wrestler, anything might go down. You know, that's just a fact. And so, but I don't know why he would be so upset about how it would do any more damage to his career than, it's already there. No, he hasn't been. And I got a problem when Netflix or these documentaries come after people anyway, because it's like it's stuff be there. The only time they get tired of you is if your money start to go funny. Got nothing to do with no justice. It never does. It never is about justice. About what your money get funny and you can't make us no new money. We get a younger model of you, and then we gonna dig up everything you ever did and then just break you down and make you look bad, even though we were sitting here enjoying it all. It's a dangerous game. Everybody can't play that deck. So you gotta be very careful how you play that deck. It ain't for everybody. 57% say no, 43 say yes. It's interesting. So, Mr. Man's getting like almost a mix. Some think it's deep, some don't. I don't think it's going to be as big as Puffy. I don't, because the takedown ain't as interesting, you know. But Ted said the Browns. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Okay, where everybody at? I got 10 more minutes. I appreciate everybody coming out tonight too. I just was on for an hour tonight. I just wanted to kind of, see folks come in. So keep on talking. Hope we got some conversation. I got 10 more minutes while I'm still on here. See that there's been some more views coming through. So let's see if anybody's gonna come through. They don't know what they're doing. That's why I was talking about Harbaugh. He doesn't, they trying to push Derrick Henry. They could have had Derrick Henry running 30 times against Dallas. He goes 30-35. He probably pushing 303 bills against Dallas. So that's what made that game closer. That game should have been a 40 burger on their head again. Yeah, Mark Andrews just in the doghouse. I don't know what's up. I told you their way they run the offense. I don't. I'm looking forward to how Buffalo plays against them, though. That's a big game for both. It'll be Buffalo's first true test. And can Baltimore play 60 minutes of football? Because they've been their own worst enemy. So we'll see. Anyway, that's a good question about how I would fix the thing. I mean, I had my way, I'd almost put a ban on it. I don't think you need it. I think you entice people when you put something in front of them. You don't have it there in front of them. They have no way of feeling a certain way. Glad to see some more viewers coming through. We're gonna make the most of it. Would I sell on Justin Herbert? No, Dak's gonna be able to last. Herbert is he's frustrating, but he's better than Lawrence. And Watson is still living off that one AFC championship game he went to. But Dak's in the best of that bunch is Dak. He's fine. I just think that Herbert's case is mental. Lawrence is mental as well. It's all mental, but theirs in different ways. Herbert ain't used to being really front and center. So it's gonna be tough to trying to break habits. Trevor Lawrence, though, is just getting exposed though. He gotta figure out a new choreography, a new way. They had some plays last night, but they're not consistent. Dak is just not a good fit for Dallas. He'd be scary in Pittsburgh with the right coach. He could be scary. And Deshaun Watson, I think D is done. He can't figure it out with Cleveland. His cadence is off. So Herbert, Lawrence, and D. Watt, they'd be in trouble. Herbert should be the best of the four, though, but he ain't. Jalen Hurts, because I think they're just a matter of fixing up the offense. I think with the plus they both been to a Super Bowl, but Jalen was close to winning, and Hurts was an injury away from being a league MVP. Burrows, they slow starts, got more weaponry, can't put it together. What good is if you play Kansas City and you lose or close to them, but everybody else gets you? Their defense is atrocious. Do you realize that a rookie quarterback last night sat on the field? They went for it fourth down over and over again and beat them in their own backyard. Is that a diss track or what? You don't recover from that. And he's a quarterback that does. I do like Burrows a lot, but uh, he doesn't stay healthy. So that's the problem. Burrows is bad though, but you got to stay healthy. And they just don't really put a lot of stock in their team. They don't take care. I just said before. So 57% say no, 43 says yes. That's the latest right now. Let's get some more questions. I see some people out here. Let's get it going. Good to see some folks coming through. This is a pretty popular poll too. I like that. It took a life of its own. Think about it. I just thought about it the last second. Okay. Do we got anybody else coming through? Look, everybody kind of slowed up. Hmm. If I don't hear nothing in a couple minutes, I will conclude. I see some views coming through, but anybody gonna come through? Anybody gonna come through? Okay, if I don't get anything, I have to close it in just a couple minutes. Seems like there's no more questions coming. Go once. I do appreciate the polls coming out. I appreciate the conversations coming out. Um, Thank you for everybody that participated and everything. It's good questions and great feedback. People keep on hitting that like, because even from now on, appreciate the likes that are being hit. Appreciate that's very important. Or however I see the numbers, they dictate, how often I come out. So when I come live, so that's just a fact. So appreciate the ones that did show up tonight. Yeah, I heard about they always talking trash and they don't win nothing. That might be a video I might do. You're 0-3 and you don't win nothing. Always got something to say about everybody. They got their behind beat last night though. Rookie looked good last night too. Looked good last night. I was impressed. Very impressed. Jaden Daniels is the truth. They can't afford to talk no trash though. Oh, if I have a nickname for him, I'm gonna call him Mark Mark Twain. Mark Twain, and I won't call him a Marks. Mr. No Robinson's neighborhood. Yeah, Mark Twain. Mark Train, because he's going with the wrong cargo. Oh, he's just so embarrassing. I mean, Mark Train. He's a Mark Train. He yeah, he didn't. I mean, he got it bad, and they really want him out of there. Old McDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and he's about near done. Oh yeah, I telling you. What's up, JJ? I'm on here for a few minutes. How you doing? Yeah, I keep different nicknames. Phil Philosopher Jackson, Phil the Philosopher. Um, 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 uh, Michael Doug, Michael Douglas, Michael Douglas in the Charlie um, what was the one Michael Douglas movie? Um, why am I not thinking about the movie that Michael Douglas in with the real estate, the tycoon, Pat the Tycoon, Pat the Don. That's who it is. Pat the Don Riley. He's the Pat the Don because he wears hair always with the Don. Sean, oh, McDormand is Mr. Mighty Quiet. Sean Mr. Quiet McDormand. Oh, I call him Phil the Philosopher. Phil the Philosopher. Yeah, I know. I'm getting ready for week 4. I got nicknames for yeah. Sean McQuiet, the McDonald, Mr. McKnight, Mr. Because he's real quiet. Hmm. Phil the Philosopher. Um, what was that movie with Michael Douglas with Sheen? Wall Street. Yeah, Pat Wall Street Riley. Meathead McCarthy, Pat Wall Street Riley. I'm like Wall Street. Him and Michael Douglas are like the same hair all slick back. Oh yeah, I got names for him. Kyle Shenanigans. Sean McFlurry with the Rams, all like a flurry, like he floating. Okay, I'm gonna do this before I go because I didn't want to do basketball, but I'll do this before I go. Magic's gonna get the win there. Magic. Much as I love Isaiah Thomas, Magic gonna get the win. 59%. Uh, Pat Curly Neal Mahomes. Curly Neal from the Globetrotters. Curly, call him Curly. I call him the Curly. Curly Neal. Curly Curry. Just call him Curly Lock. Put you in that curl. He be putting you in the curl too. I call him Curly Lock because he make you think of Globetrotter. Dak is Get Out Prescott. Dak Get Out Prescott. Just like the movie Get Out. Josh Headlights Allen. That's what I would call him. Because he be looking at his headlights get big. Sometime I see his eyes get big. It's a trip. Too cool Joe Burrow. Joe Cool Burrow. I don't call him cool. I call him Get Out. Made me think about the movie. 59 say no big deal. 41 say big. All right. I am going to come back tomorrow earlier and hope everybody coming back. Put a 1 up if you want me to come back tomorrow. I will be here early though. He ain't played long to get no nickname. You just call him like a JL Smooth. We'll call him JL Smooth for now. JL Smooth. All right. I will be back 4 hours early. So look out for me if my notifications don't work. No, no, he wasn't overrated. He did good. He had a Holmgren was a prototype for like Andy Reid. I like Holmgren. So now you win a chip, he actually had a career that counted. I just said he wasn't overrated. Not overrated. Not underrated, not overrated. Holmgren was Holmgren. Liked him. Wasn't blown away by him, but he was good. He did the thing. All right, I'm gonna call it a night now, but we'll be back tomorrow. Appreciate everyone who took part in the Vince McMahon final results. 59 say no. That's the part of where I'm at. 41 said yes. So more people don't think of it as big as Diddy. I don't either. But I'm sure that there'll be a lot of commentary about what comes out, but really, I don't know. We'll see. I don't think it's nothing gonna be mind blowing. So All right. Have a good night. Stay blessed. Stay focused. Stay real. Stay cool. Stay calm. Appreciate everybody. Peace and the best. I'm out.